All life depends on plants, but unfortunately plants are under threat in their natural environments. The Royal Botanic Garden Kew has been identifying and conserving threatened plants since the 1970s and established its first seed bank in 1974. In 1992, in response to growing concern about global species loss, there was the UN Rio Earth Summit, and it led to the development of the Convention on Biological Diversity. And it's in response to the call for action in the CBD that the Millennium Seed Bank project was founded. From its start, the Millennium Seed Bank project was seen as an international collaborative conservation programme under the rules of the CBD and coordinated by Kew Gardens. The role of the Millennium Seed Bank project was to conserve threatened species and make that material available for use. So the plant conservation crisis is unfortunately still severe. 2 in 5 plants are currently threatened with extinction, and the rate of extinction is tens to hundreds of times faster than it is in the fossil record. So we need to act to conserve these plants, and this is where the work of the Millennium Seed Bank and its partners comes in. So by storing seeds from threatened species, we're preventing them from going extinct in the wild. And to date, at the Millennium Seed Bank, we've got 40,000 species safely stored, and across the partnership at least 46,000. So those plants will never go extinct. Since 2000, the Millennium Seed Bank partnership has worked with 97 different countries and territories to conserve their native plant diversity and more than 260 different organisations. We enter into access and benefit sharing agreements with all of our partners, and we help them on their seed banking journey, supporting them to develop their capacity to conserve their native flora until the point where they're able to help support others on their journey. So the seeds that we collect through the partnership are stored in the country of origin, and where possible, a safety duplicate is sent here to the Millennium Seed Bank for safe storage. This means should something happen to the collection in country, we can repatriate material to them. As well as storing material from our partners, we also get sent donations of material from around the world. So we currently have material stored from 190 different countries. Spain plays a vital role in this international partnership, and seed banks in Spain have been long-term partners of the Millennium Seed Bank. The partners in Spain also have their own national network of gene banks for conserving plants and are also part of ENSCANET, the European Native Seed Conservation Network, which Kew chairs. So their collaboration and their contribution to conservation is really inspiring. And through the Millennium Seed Bank partnership, we know that at least 4,000 species have been conserved in Spain, many hundreds of which are listed as threatened on the global IUCN Red List. We'd love to be able to store all of plant diversity here at the Millennium Seed Bank, but unfortunately that's just not possible. So we have to prioritise what we collect and store. The first way in which we prioritise is ensuring that the species have seeds that can withstand our storage conditions, which is drying and then freezing. And then we look to conserve particular types of plants, so particularly those that are threatened in the wild, and also plants that are useful for humanity. The decision on what to conserve is always a collaborative process with our partners, and the projects that we have with them can range from conserving crop wild relatives or medicinal plants, through to focusing on tree species which are very threatened in the wild, to biodiversity hotspots or alpine species. It really depends on the priority in country. Here at the Millennium Seed Bank, to store our seeds, we first dry them, and we use 15% relative humidity at 15 degrees centigrade to do this. And that really reduces the moisture content within the seeds, slowing the aging process. Indeed, for every 1% reduction in moisture content, we can double the lifespan of those seeds in storage. The second step is then to seal those dried seeds in an airtight container, and we put them into freezers at -20. And that's because for every 5 degrees centigrade drop in temperature, we again double the lifespan of the seeds in storage. So the seeds that we have conserved here should last for tens to hundreds of years longer than they would otherwise. We do have some examples of seeds stored here and by our partners that have gone extinct in the wild. And that means there's no individuals left in their natural habitats. So one example is actually an endemic species to Menorca, which is stored here and in Spain. And we also can then use these seeds to reintroduce those plants to the wild. And we've done that in the UK for an endemic plant, Bromus interruptus, which has been restored to some of its natural habitat as a result of seeds that we'd collected and stored. We undertake a wide variety of research on the seeds held here at the Millennium Seed Bank. We want to understand the seed biology, the germination and storage characteristics, the traits and properties of these seeds. All seeds hold environmental signals within them, and by understanding these signals, we can start to look, for instance, for seeds that might be resilient to climate change. So some examples of the work that we've done on this are looking at crop wild relatives and how they might have broader tolerance than their commercial crop cousins to some of the stresses that are likely to increase under climate change, such as higher temperatures, reduced water availability. We've done some work on sunflower seeds here, and we've also, through the Crop Wild Relative project, collected a lot of material which has gone to pre-breeding institutes across the world to undertake exactly this kind of work to make the crops of the future. As well as focusing on crop wild relatives, we can do this work for wild plant species too to help improve their conservation outcomes. So we've studied cacti to identify their temperature thresholds, because it's likely that they will have further temperature stresses in their environments moving forward. And we've also looked at alpine species to see how tolerant they are to increasing drought conditions in their environments. Looking to the future, we're going to continue our conservation efforts for threatened plants around the world through our global partnership. But we also want to increase our work and understanding of exceptional species. Those are species that we can't currently store under our conditions at the Millennium Seed Bank that require different ex situ conservation options. And we want to make sure that they have a chance as well to survive outside their natural habitats. We're going to continue to make seeds available for use as we currently do, and we really want to increase the supply of native seeds for reintroductions and restoration. We want to make sure that threatened species are also included in this so that they can be back into biodiverse habitats. And finally, but most importantly probably, we're going to continue our training and capacity building work that has been fundamental to the success of the global partnership by increasing capacity around the world to help conserve plant diversity. We're going to ensure the best possible outcomes.